Yang terhormat Bapak Indra Charismiadji, Executive Director of Center. Kemajuan sebuah bangsa diukur dari bagaimana majunya perkembangan pendidikan di dalam negara tersebut atau di dalam bangsa tersebut. Education is the pillar of the society. And of course, Bina Bangsa has been contributing for 20 years in the society that we are in now, in Indonesia. And now we have Bina Bangsa Online School. It's a new institution and with its new program and its new delivery. Now, before we start, sebelum kita mulai, kita akan melihat performance dari Bina Bangsa Orchestra. Pak Wirya, kita akan mulai dengan
Bina Bangsa Online School is proud to offer the Cambridge curriculum on a 100% online school platform. We are affiliated with Bina Bangsa School, who have already had a history of success for the past 20 years.
Hello, I'm Mr. Indra. I'm very happy to introduce BBS Online School. This online school is really exciting. Why? Because it's designed to cater to students who are very much interested to direct their learning independently, and this can be achieved when they are at home. Why? Because they have the free space the free time, the free resources, with the guidance of the teachers from Bina Bangsa to lead them in a way to achieve their best.
BBS Online School adopts the digital framework, which combines face-to-face and self-directed online learning. Learning contents are designed based on EEE educational framework that help deliver a better learning experience with high retention rates and encourage critical thinking. BBS online classes use a wide range of technologies to produce engaging lessons and instruction designs for engaging, enhancing, and extending learning experiences for all students.
Students has won many awards, including top in Indonesia and top in the world for many subjects. And they have gone on to study in very prestigious universities, both in Indonesia and overseas. It is thus with great confidence that we are launching this online school.
Right, good afternoon class, how are you all today? It blends and it
Enjoy formal schooling from the comfort of your home with Bina Bangsa Online School.
And we are very happy to welcome you students to be part of this arrangement and succeed in your studies so that you may eventually decide to go to a top university with a wonderful background that you have acquired from this online school education.
You can rest easy knowing that BBS has an excellent reputation of being the best Cambridge school in Indonesia.
Kita mempunyai beberapa panelis yang akan berbincang-bincang mengenai pendidikan online secara general di Indonesia dan bagaimana seorang murid dapat berhasil dalam pendidikan online, khususnya di dalam sukses di dalam Cambridge A-Level program di dalam sekolah online. Oke, saya akan memperkenalkan pertama, kita sangat bersyukur mempunyai kesempatan untuk dapat berbincang-bincang dengan Pak Indra. Pak Indra seorang pakar dan pemerhati praktisi pendidikan di Indonesia dengan spesialisasi pembelajaran abad 21. Pak Indra juga sudah berkolaborasi dengan banyak institusi di Indonesia, khususnya yang terakhir dengan menggagaskan gerakan guru cerdas atau Garudas kepada para guru di DKI Jakarta. Selamat datang Pak Indra. Panelis kedua, kita mempunyai seorang pakar pendidikan juga, tapi beliau sudah berkecimpung di dalam pendidikan bukan hanya di Indonesia, tapi di Singapura dan Malaysia. Mr. TJ has forward thinking in education and has brought a lot of changes in the technology and advances to Bina Bangsa School when he joined us a few years ago. Now he is the Dean of Bina Bangsa Online School. Let's welcome Mr. Lee Ting-Chen.
Share with you a lot more. Thank you.
Right, the third one, most important person today, is our school academic director, Mr. Paulusia. He is the one who started Bina Bangsa School, and he is the one that make all this happen together, starting from the changes of the Bina Bangsa School 2.0 until we have this Bina Bangsa Online School. So let's welcome Mr. Paulusia. We also have our sponsor, Mr. Andi, with us. Pak Andi from Epson Indonesia, especially from the pre and post business inkjet printer division, has come not only to sponsor but to also contribute in the discussion. Selamat datang Pak Andi.
Ya, terima kasih. Good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Mohan. He is also the head of academic division. So all the curriculum and the plans is designed with his expertise. And last but not least, we also have Mr. Utaya Manifasagam. We call him Mr. Utai. He's all start the discussion. Maybe we can have Mr. Mohan to explain what is Cambridge A-level and how is Bina Bangsa Online School will conduct this program. Take it away, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Now, I'll be sharing a couple of things. Maybe some of these things you may be familiar with. Some of them may be relatively new, as BBS Online is. So let me share some slides with you and perhaps explain along the way. All right. Now we are starting off at least with the A-level program this year. All right. Maybe before we go on, why A-levels and why Cambridge? This video may help us put perspective to things. Pavira, please. This is a video taken directly.
Cambridge International is the world's largest provider of international education programs and qualifications for 5 to 19-year-olds, from primary through to secondary and up to university.
It's just taught me to learn independently and to research independently and to think on my own and based on my own initiative.
We offer world-class international education through high-quality curriculum, assessments and support for teachers.
What I find attractive in what I might call the Cambridge approach is that, first of all, there is content, but there is a primary emphasis on the analysis of the content, and maybe most importantly, being expressive about the content, being able to communicate it.
We're a not-for-profit organisation and a part of the University of Cambridge. We share the same educational values and the university's commitment to excellence in education. Our qualifications are internationally recognised by the world's universities and employers, providing learners with a global passport to success. To find out how we can work together, contact our customer services team.
Background on which organization or which examining body, which body that gives us syllabus is. And remember, there's a backing of the Cambridge University, which makes it much more prestigious. Right, now again, I just recap some of the main ideas that were mentioned there. Why Cambridge? Because it prepares school students for life. Now again here, we may think, why is life? You'll see that the program teaches a lot of skills, skills like critical thinking skills, experiential skills. So these are skills that they help students to develop their curiosity and have a lasting passion for learning. And there's a very high quality educational program to unlock the learner's potential. So again, the program is designed for this, unlocking potential, the lasting passion in getting students to be curious about things. Now, again, this already been mentioned. The benefits of to students is well recognized. Perhaps is the best recognized examining body right to the whole world. You may have heard of IB. That's a competitor, but this is perhaps more used than IB at this stage. A wide range of options. The number of subjects are very, very wide. And also it prepares you for education, further education, and a career. And there's a global standard. Cambridge standards are well known. Once you have a Cambridge certificate, if you get a good grade, it is well recognized. And also there's very well designed assessment. The assessment are fair, valid, and reliable. Right? And so these are things that Cambridge has got going for them. Also, the students can be confident with Cambridge. Their qualifications are valued by many universities across the world. They learn skills for life, as I mentioned, and to succeed in schools, university, and work. Now, remember, all those skills you may think, mathematical skills, is only at that level, but it transforms into work into university, right? So our program is always constantly preparing students for the university. And also the teachers and learners attribute our love of learning. Now, our teachers are always trained regularly by Cambridge trainers. They go for courses, they learn the latest technology, latest methodology, latest pedagogy. So these teachers are very well equipped. So these are things that are going for why Cambridge, we have adopted Cambridge. Right? Now, come to Bina Bangsa. Our school, we are trying to follow this our vision and mission, which is something like this. We believe that no student should be deprived of a quality education to help them succeed in the future. Bina Bangsa, as our earlier video clip showed, we have been quite successful in this Cambridge program. Right? We have had many top in the world, top in Indonesia. So we are very confident of our program. And this, we want to allow other students to benefit from this program as well. Right? BBS Online provides an alternative path for middle and high school students who aspire to succeed in their future by providing them the key to unlock their full potential. Right? Cambridge allows us, and we are just following in that trend. Now, in our school, for a start, we are using these subjects. We are looking at English language, which is the base for all our learning, because all our subjects, except for Chinese language, are conducted in English. So good grounding of English is necessary. It's very necessary. And the universities require students to have a good grounding in English, at least a minimum of IGCSE. So we are going to focus on this IGCSE, and this will benefit all the other subjects and mathematics,
Recording in progress.
physics, and computer science. Remember, all these three subjects are quite different in nature. Mathematics teaches you logic, physics teaches you concepts, computer science teaches you how to apply technology. So it's all different aspects. So you cannot study mathematics the same way you study physics. You cannot study physics the same way you study computer science. So they're all different aspects of learning. Also, we have included Chinese language at a basic level for the students who experience a foreign language. Now, our approach is we have a 3-year program. Cambridge sometimes is a 2-year program, but we just extend it a bit longer because some students may be part-time students. And at the end of year 2, they have 2 parts. They do the AS level. And then in the 3rd year, they do the A level. So both these qualifications are necessary for the student to graduate from this A level program. Okay, language acquisition, very important, English language, and we included Chinese language as well. Now, our basic course structure, if we design with this in mind: content acquisition, formative assessment, and summative assessment. Let me just go into a bit more details into these areas. Now, content acquisition is where the teachers, our experts, they break down each topic into units, and from the units, they make these units into lessons to make the content accessible. Right? So this is something that the teachers are trained to do. How to take a big idea, big topic, and break it down and make students understand. Right? Using various methods, activities, and assess of technology, the understanding of the lessons will be enhanced. Right? We use technology a bit, especially when you're online. All the lessons are recorded and videos are made available for students. Students can study at their own the material at their own time. That's why we make these recorded lessons available to our students. All right. Following this, we have also adopted the flipped classroom method. This is where our teachers will expect or will advise the students to learners will be required to do some preparation before class. So they may read an article, watch a video, view a recorded lecture or something like this before the lecture, before the lesson. And when they come to the class, what the teacher will be doing is discussing what they have seen on the video or on the article, what they've done at home. Apply, evaluate. So if you look at it, these are the higher skills. Some of these articles, it's supposed to be a springboard or a first level to go on to the higher level skills. So when you evaluate, apply, these are the higher level skills. So the teacher will take the students through this, what they have learned or what they have read and viewed during the lesson. And in class, they'll address new questions. So the teachers will be asking new questions based on what they've watched and what they discussed in class. And what the whole idea is to bring the students to the higher level of expertise or mastery of that topic. Then follow up with further work to build a thorough understanding of the lessons. So if a lesson we start, perhaps, I give an example of English, they're going to do something like composition writing. They may watch a video, a story, and they know what is character, what is plot, they know all these things. And then the teacher comes to class and he'll discuss this and apply to a new situation. So maybe give another scenario, a new story, a new situation, see whether you can apply these skills into it or not. And then follow up, they will be writing an essay and to confirm that they know what they have studied. Right? Now, at the end of each lesson, this is a formative assessment. At the end of each lesson, the teachers will conduct some form of assessment. This may be in the form of online quiz, upload opinions, reflections, or short tests. Formative. Now, when the word formative means you're forming your understanding. You're not there yet. Right? Regular tests will be set to check the student's understanding. These are formative in nature and will help the teachers monitor the progress of the learners. It's very important for teachers to know the progress. Okay? Learners will retake the test or assessment as many times as they want to master that content. Right? If the teachers think that the students have to go for remedial lessons, they will recommend them. Or the students themselves, if they think, I don't understand this very well, I need remedial lesson, they can approach the teachers. Right? And finally, we have these summative assessments. Okay, this is where we have our school examinations and the Cambridge examinations. This will be regular examinations to assess the learner's understanding of the topics. Right? This may be in the form of benchmark tests, topical tests, mock exam, and semestral examination. What sometimes you may know as mid-year examination and final year examination. All this will become the prerequisite for attempting Cambridge examinations. The teachers will, of course, provide lessons, the learners' lessons, revision lessons to prepare them for this final exam and all those tests. So again, you look at it, it's a very thorough program, right? Also, I just introduce our team. Mr. TJ was our dean, and these are our teachers. Myself as a head, Mr. Uday as the head of education technology, and also the mathematics subject specialist. Mr. Ganesh is the English specialist. Mr. David is a specialist for physics. Miss Marika is a specialist for computer science, and Miss Yang Xiao is a specialist for Chinese language. So this will be the teachers your children will be working with. Right. Also, our administrative staff, you have met some of them. Mr. Palos, Miss Juliana, Mr. Hendro, Miss Mr. Richard.
And Mr. Richard.
Can you just help me?
Yeah,
Miss Vasu and
Madam Pan.
Madam Pan. Right? So these are our academic advisors. And also we have another group of advisors. These are our supporting staff. Right? And these people will help us in the background. Mr. Alvin, Madam Pan, Miss Mata, and also we have two counselors, Miss Ina and Mr. Richard. Can you help me with his name?
Sure. Miss Esther.
Miss Esther. So this will be our staff in the Bina Bangsa online school. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you,
Took a bit
Mr.
longer
Mohan,
than
for the
necessary.
comprehensive explanation. I think you are very focused in the academics. It gives you this thinking about how to help the students, and you're focusing it too much. You forgot some names, but it's okay. We will start the discussion though. Kita akan mulai. Mungkin saya akan bertanya dulu kepada pakar pendidikan Pak Indra. Pak Indra sudah berkecimpung sebagai pemerhati dari jauh dan praktisi dari dekat juga, Pak. Jadi sudah melakukan juga ya. Mungkin pertanyaan saya secara general dulu. Apa saja sih yang dibutuhkan sebuah institusi pendidikan agar dapat menghasilkan anak didik yang berkualitas? Pendidikan kan begitu luas ya, dan mungkin sebagai publik dari kacamata publik, bagaimana mereka bisa tahu ini pendidikan, institusi pendidikan bagus apa tidak?
Oke, terima kasih Pak Richard. Kalau menurut saya, dan ini juga kita lihat berdasarkan dari pengalaman banyak negara-negara yang fokusnya ke pembangunan SDM, itu semua mulai dulu dari SDM pendidikannya, yaitu gurunya kan gitu. Jadi guru ini, teachers ini adalah hal yang paling penting dalam kita mendidik. Nah, kemudian tentunya didukung, kalau saya menggunakan istilahnya Hanzik di Socio-Technical Knowledge Management itu, kita bicara infrastruktur, infostruktur, dan infokultur. Gitu. Jadi kita bicara cara mereka mengajar, jadi pedagoginya itu bagaimana, ya kan? Kemudian kurikulumnya itu bagaimana, ya, dan juga bagaimana kita bicara sarana prasarananya. Itu buat saya yang paling penting. Kalau di Indonesia memang diperluas lagi menjadi 8 standar kan gitu, 8 standar nasional pendidikan. Tapi pada dasarnya itu yang dibutuhkan, Pak Richard.
Oke. Sepertinya pemahaman yang sudah difokuskan gitu dari 8 standar menjadi beberapa yang sangat penting untuk mungkin sebagai orang tua atau sebagai publik untuk melihat bahwa ini pendidikan institusi atau sekolah ini bagus apa enggak. Jadi mereka bisa lihat dari kurikulum yang dipakai, dari bagaimana guru-guru sudah dipersiapkan dengan baik, pedagogi dan lain-lainnya. Itu secara general Pak Indra. Tetapi untuk online school sendiri, apa hal-hal itu juga termasuk atau ada pembeda?
Gini, kita ini kan berada di dalam kondisi yang berubah ya, perubahan besar kan begitu. Dan kalau kita melihat pemerintah ini kan sedang mendorong di bulan Juli untuk membuka sekolah tatap muka, ya kan? Dengan alasan learning loss kan begitu. Nah, cuman kan kalau kita bandingkan ke negara-negara tetangga kita, yang sepertinya saya yakin penanganan COVID-nya jauh lebih baik dari Indonesia, contoh Singapura lah kan gitu. Singapura itu dari bulan Juli tahun 2020, sekolah malah udah dibuka kan begitu. Tapi Mei 2021, sekolah malah ditutup kan begitu. Karena mereka merasa ini sedang bahaya nih dengan adanya varian baru dan lain sebagainya. Lebih baik kembali ke online learning kan begitu. Nah, jadi kalau Singapura saja merasa bahaya kan gitu. Kalau Indonesia merasa tenang-tenang aja, ini ada tanda tanya besar nih kan malah kan. Ya kan? Jadi kalau buat saya masih kondisi yang paling aman, ya masih harus daring, masih harus online. Kan begitu. Jadi, nah problemnya adalah kenapa orang itu banyak merasa pembelajaran daring itu tidak optimal. Saya selalu memberikan analogi itu gini. Masak nasi, menanak nasi. Itu kita bisa pakai rice cooker. Tapi bisa juga pakai cara tradisional. Dengan kalau orang Jawa bilangnya dandang kan gitu. Nah, kalau kita masak nasi pakai rice cooker, tapi rice cookernya kita taruh di atas kompor, sampai kapanpun nasinya nggak matang-matang kan begitu. Karena kan caranya beda kalau pakai rice cooker, colokin itu ke listrik, kemudian pencet tombolnya, dan itu nasi akan matang kan. Jadi cara masaknya berbeda. Nah, sama juga dengan pembelajaran online ini. Cara ngajarnya berbeda, kemudian infrastrukturnya juga berbeda, kulturnya juga berbeda, kan begitu. Kalau masih menggunakan cara lama, sampai kapanpun nggak matang-matang nih, sampai kapanpun ya terjadi learning loss. Gitu. Jadi, the most important thing adalah memang, kalau kita sudah masuk ke pembelajaran online, harus dengan cara baru, harus dengan kultur baru, metode baru. Misalnya, di pembelajaran online itu mengenal konsep yang namanya anytime, anywhere, any device. Yes. Atau penggabungan antara synchronous learning dan asynchronous learning.
Yep.
Ya kan? Nah, ini tentunya hanya sekolah yang memahami konsep ini yang bisa akan menjalankan pembelajaran dengan baik. Kalau tidak, ya pasti berantakan. Gitu, Pak Richard.
Setuju. Topik synchronous and asynchronous learning sudah sedikit kita sentuh di talk show sebelumnya ya Pak ya?
Betul.
Menarik Pak. Nanti saya akan kembali ke sana sebelumnya, tapi mungkin saya ke Mr. Paulus dulu. Mr. Paulus, Bina Bangsa have been successful for the last 20 years in a brick mortar school, in a school, in a building, in where we have we have many campuses in 5 cities. Now, why are we building or creating a new entity, a new school, quote unquote, online school? Can you explain? Because according to Pak Indra, it's actually a total, well, it's probably similar in some ways, but it's actually a total 2 different scenarios.
Okay, Richard, there's a number of factors why BBS India decided to do online school. Maybe I can start with all these years, like you say, right? BBS has been 20 years in the industry, and if you take a look at BBS, we are like just on the video, and some of you have said we are the top Cambridge schools. Why we top Cambridge schools? Because we said we have a very excellent track record in the students' academic results, right? Top in Indonesia, top in the world, consistently throughout the years. BBS have gotten the most awards, right? So when we say top Cambridge schools, what I meant here is the results, okay? Just the pure capacity and having the knowledge and the know-how to produce, right, good results in the students, A stars, top results. So in a way, you can say we have the recipe. After all these years, a recipe, a cookbook, a game plan, basically, right? The secret recipe on how to produce good results. Okay, a system, a formula. Now, I will say in the past we are also, right, like Pak Indra, I think is trying to say, riding on the e-learning ecologies, right? With technology nowadays, there's internet, there's Wikipedia, learning devices also are there for students, right? That's why in the school, years back, we have adopted the iPad as a student's learning device. But what I think in the end accelerate, right, our this movement towards online school is the pandemic. Suddenly last year, the world has been turned upside down, right? There's no more brick and mortar school. There's no more students coming to classes, teachers going to school in the classroom to teach and students learn, right? Even our exams are conducted online. So basically what you can say is that we have 100% converted to an online school, right? Just like Pak Indra say, whether it's a synchronous or asynchronous, but nevertheless, it's all through Zoom, right? Through our learning management system in the school and so on. So we have actually converted into an online school, right, for the entire year. And that for even our teachers, right, and our staff, we're all working from home. Wow! If you just if somebody, I was last time thinking, if somebody went into a coma, right, and wake up, they will say, "What has happened to the world? What has happened to the world?" Yesterday everything was brick and mortar, normal, and now we have the new normal, and it's unprecedented, something that nobody can imagine. So I think with that experience, throughout the pandemic in the year, we felt we are more confident now, right, with the secret formula that we have, and now with the e-learning, right, platforms and technology that we have also, right, gathered experience and build our capacity, right, to deliver the 100% learning from home. We say, hey, look, maybe we should try, right? We should try offering something that's really online, to continue and see, right, whether how far we can ride on this wave of change, transformation. There is also, I felt throughout the entire world, right? When we talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0, and Indonesia, okay, has its own version. You can see a lot of this, right? Whether it's in the manufacturing, agriculture, defense, security, and so forth. It's all riding on, right? AI, data analytics, yeah, anything that the e-ecologies can bring, right? That can support the transformation, right? So it's not just in the industrial sector; it's in the economic sector, and it's also affecting, right, the commercial sector, right? Throughout the pandemic, we cannot go buy food. My wife, okay, bought food, from the supermarket by Gojek, and it can, and it can sustain us for years and so on. All these things is again what technology can bring, right, and transform the world in all its levels and sectors. So my question is, why can't we do why can't we do education and schooling also online? Okay, now this like I agree with Pak Indra, is actually really different, right? You're flipping basically the whole school upside down. But I think there is, yeah. This is online school is not really we are the first, we have not seen an online school even before the pandemic, right? There are other countries, other schools that have done this, and they have also performed, right, in this. So my thing, and they've done well. So my thing is this, Richard. I felt if it is talking about, right, just now Mr. Mohan shows about the Cambridge vision, mission, and the objective. If it is about life, passion, curiosity, right, in students gathering, in students learning, right, and knowledge and developing the skills, eventually, what you have to know with the Cambridge, right, the A levels, is still the exam. right? There's still a pen and paper exam. That if you pass and you do well, you can get top in Indonesia, top in the world. If it's not so brilliant, then you can get, right? Distinction, high distinction, merits, and so forth. Okay, and that is your passport, right? For our teenagers, our students, passport to the universities and the good programs in these universities, and on top, and they can build a career, right? For their life, so long as, right, they continue, like with the Cambridge say, having the passion and curiosity. But my thing is this, right? I think we need to zoom in on the exam. Okay, so if you say the online school, right, what is our basic prime priority? I will say, right, get the students the A and A stars, if not the B, and the good results for them to good universities and good discipline, good programs. And I think that one we can do. Okay, that one we can do very well. I felt even with technology later on, if you see, Mr. Mohan, Mr. Utai, they will go on in the next session after me to talk about it. You can see that actually with technology, online school, you can do more. You can do much more than a brick and mortar room, right? Brick and mortar classroom. Let's say in a brick and mortar classroom, when the teacher asks a question, somebody got to raise a hand, right? And then the teacher got to give that time, right? Their space, yeah, to the students. Now, what happened? What happened to the rest of the students while waiting for the teachers to have a one-on-one teacher to student, that particular student's interaction? The rest of them in the e-learning technologies can actually use their iPads, right? And answer to the same questions the teacher asks, to get one student before go to them. So they can give their understanding. And the teachers, if let's say, yeah, you can summarize this quickly on the spot, live, they can see how many students have learned, right? From that particular instruction that they just post and the question that they just asked. So that just shows, right, the power of technology. That now you can engage, yeah, and get a whole class to move with you and at the same time understand where they learn as they move with technology, right? So there's a lot of things we can do, even with the online school. There is such a thing called learning analytics, right? So if the students do their assignment, it not only just help the teachers mark it, which gives teachers more time to do other things, like just now we said the flip classroom, but at the same time the students, right, they can collaborate together, yeah, and learn faster, better, and reach their goals easier. So some of these many the affordances, yeah, the ecologies and the technology bring. I think like what Indra is saying, yeah, we need to really capitalize it, okay, and that may in the end, yeah, set up a world of learning, yeah, like in this case we say online school, learning anytime, anywhere, but even much more than that, yeah, in an online school. And that is what I think today and towards the future, I hope, yeah, we can kind of piece it out. And share it, right, with the audience today we have here with the parents and the students. Yeah. So I felt we have a good program, right? In the Cambridge, it's recognized everywhere. The BBS has that reputation, has that secret formula that we can produce results. And if it is only the results, right, that attract I think the parents and the students here. Then I will say the e-learning ecologies that we develop in the platform and the hardware, you can only deliver the results much faster, much better, and also you have the flexibility, yeah, to do it at home, right? So why we want to do this in BBS online school? Well, maybe like we say, to the basics is to reach out to more masses, right? Students have more choice and more flexible, right? They can do it in a different way, yeah, alternative way. They can bring in much more maybe benefits than a physical brick and mortar school. They can only provide you with the limited, right, constraint in your space and time, right? You cannot learn anytime, anywhere. And at the same time, also, we say with the online school, it will cut down the cost. Richard, definitely you can cut down a lot of costs because, like we say just now, a lot of the resources, yeah. The videos and so on is shared on the online platform. The students can learn, right? They can watch this video multiple times in a brick and mortar classroom. When the teacher leaves the classroom, that's the end of the lecture, right? So there's many things I think we can capitalize on. that I find is a different paradigm, it's a different world, and I think we'll continue to share, in the subsequent sessions with everybody here. Okay, thank you, Richard.
So in the gist, Mr. Paulus has said that he wants to share the secret recipe to more students, and so that there are more successful students in the future. And Mr. Paulus also shares some of the why in details. But maybe the question is, the next question will be for Mr. DJ. As the dean of the online school, he has to translate all these motivation and ideas and drive behind the ideology behind to be implemented, right? So the how and to make it successful is very important, Mr. TJ.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Mr. Paulus. Yes, I think the how to help our students achieve their greatest potential is actually our main objective in starting this school. I think to summarize, there are basically 3 basic ingredients to make it work. We need to have a very robust curriculum and very structured lesson planning, all right, which I think we all know that BBS already have a success formula, all right. We will adopt the same curriculum as well as the same lesson plan, all right. So no worry, if you join BBS Online School, you'll receive the same robust curriculum. As Mr. Mohan has pointed out, it will break down, all right, especially also for online school students into, kind of a smaller part for students to be able to follow and complete the examination syllabus. And of course, to do well, we will also impart the examination skills, all right, which is also very important. Now, second ingredient is we need to have very committed and qualified excellent teachers, which do not worry, as Mr. Mohan has introduced our team to you, all right, we have managed to, kind of deploy some of our very best subject specialists, all right, to this online school, all right, to help our students to in their learning with us. Now, third, especially for the online school, I think we need to have a very structured and developed learning platform. All right, so we call it the student learning platform, and I would like to take this opportunity to let Mr. Udaya later on to share with you very quickly some of the very special features that we actually develop for our students. Now, of course, a typical platform will involve uploading lesson, videos, quizzes, and all these things, but I think we have gone beyond that. We actually created a platform to allow peers, all right, student to support each other. Beside, on top of the students to teachers platform, we also allow students to actually interact and collaborate in their study. So I think I'll pass the time over to Mr. Udaya to actually share with you some of the very exciting features that we have in our platform. Mr. Udaya, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. TJ. Once again, a very good afternoon to all you dear attendees. I'd like to just touch on what Pak Indra mentioned. Online learning requires a different method of cooking the rice. So I'm going to show you what this different method involves to some extent. Let me share screen. I hope you can see what I'm sharing. Can I get a confirmation that you can all see what I'm sharing?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. So first and foremost, as I mentioned earlier, what's the new way of learning as far as this BBS online school is going to be, handling? We are going to use the Moodle learning management system. So we want the students to succeed with their online learning. So there's going to be lots of things to learn, not only the content, but how to navigate yourself in the Moodle menu system, what to click, where to go, what to do. So these are things that we are going to learn together, and please rest assured the teachers are going to support the students very well to help them see how to take advantage of the features that are available and to use that to support them so that they can enhance their learning and also achieve better performance. So one thing that I'd like to highlight is there are 5 things I wish to share in this talk show. Of course, there are many more. I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'll try to be light. I'll try to show you some examples. One of the things that I want you to take away is, if you can't recall all 5, never mind. At least you can take away 1 or 2 and you can think about it. And another day, you can come along and maybe ask or even, raise a question, and we'll be very glad to support you with further explanation. Remember, it's a learning journey. The teachers are going to support the children. So if you decide to send your kid to this arrangement, this online school, please feel confident that they will be helped from the very beginning. Now, one of the first key that I'd like to share with regards to how students can make their learning journey one that is fun and also successful is to consider the feature called private files. Now, what is this? It's basically a personal file storage area, just like a cloud space, just like your hard disk, just like a USB or a thumb drive. But the only difference is this is all contained inside the learning management system. How can it be useful? Possibly, maybe a student is working on something the teacher had given him or her, but he starts working on the assignment at school, and school has ended and he hasn't finished it. So what does he do? He doesn't have to go to panic mode. He can save it in this private files space and continue anywhere later, anywhere that being at home or maybe at the library, at the restaurant, or somewhere else, wherever he wishes or she wishes to do so. Something that we can also appreciate. This is a way where students can also capture media, could be a video, could be a picture, could be just a text file, and just plonk it in that private files folder so that he or she can share it for group activities. Let me just demonstrate an example for you. So let's say, for instance, a student is given an exercise and then he just went to the World Wide Web, he did some scribbling here and then, he did some searching, and he bumped into this problem, and then this is like troubling him. He's like trying to understand it because he's very keen, it's related to what he's learning. So what he does, he basically puts it in this private file folder. Now this is student A. You can see this is a profile for a student that I've named as student A. So he can either access the private file folder by going to this block or just clicking here. So what does he do? When he opens that, you can see that he can download and upload files here if he wishes to. What he has done is he has uploaded the file that I just showed you. If he wants to segregate and make it more organized, he can create folders. Maybe you can call this folder quadratics, something like that. Why? Because it's a topic that relates to quadratics. And what he does then, he moves the file into that folder. But in this case, it's not a quadratics file. So, I'm not going to move that. But this is a very simple file management system within the learning management system that students can really take advantage of. Now, I'll tell you later how he or she can use that file. But this is one wonderful way where students don't have to have extra thumb drive or a hard drive, or students don't have to worry about, I've lost my file. Now, what if the student doesn't have a tablet? What if the student doesn't have a writing pencil or an Apple Pencil, something, for instance? Now, he can still write on a notepad with his normal pen or pencil, takes a screenshot, captures that, and just uploads that on his private file. So the file is once again captured. So if he loses the paper gets damaged, or for some reason something has happened, he's not able to locate it, he's safe. Why? Because the file is already in the private file folder. Now, something else that I like you to appreciate is to look at key 2 here. Now in key 2, I say that there is a forum. Well, what is this forum all about? It's a way to collaborate and work on activities together. It can be an activity that the teacher had assigned. It can also be an activity that the student chose to work on with his peer or with his buddy. So if there is something that requires a working together, it can be really useful for students to use this forum feature. And especially it brings students together for them just to share ideas, or even to have a peer-to-peer review with regards to what's happening. So let me just share this with you. So there is this, let's just go back one step. I'm gonna do this. Okay, there is this discussion here. So this discussion is started by student A. So it started by student A, and what has happened? He has written a little note saying that I need help to understand the attached work example. What is the attached work example? It's none other than the file that he found on the World Wide Web. So he writes a message. I'm confused how they got the initial expression for Rohan, Rohan being a named individual in the problem. So he shares this in the forum. And then student B who sees it says, I think it's based on the assumption how many marbles Rahul had at the start. So now there's a dialogue taking place between the students. Of course, the teacher may not get involved initially because the teacher is trying to promote discussion between the kids. But then later he might say, this is the teacher commenting, yes, that's absolutely right. So here the teacher now can also chip in the discussion. And once again, please take note that this discussion, as mentioned earlier, can happen during lesson synchronously, or it can also happen outside of lesson asynchronously, i.e. before lesson or even after the kids have left the online learning environment. So this is a wonderful way where kids can collaborate and share ideas and also get involved in the discussion. And now the discussion doesn't have to be started by the teacher. It can all be started by a student. Let's go to the next key. Now this key is very simple. It says chat. So like any other chat program, what is it? A way to allow students' voices to be heard. Now this is not like WhatsApp. This is not like, for instance, Telegram or Facebook Messenger. Why? Because this is a chat that is exactly as what is happening in the Zoom session now. Now, if you notice in the Zoom session, there's a chat panel where people can raise questions, say hello, hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. So this is only happening during the live session. So here the teacher can set this chat to be in synchronous with the lesson time. So he or she is discussing some matter, explaining something, and there's a few ideas or thoughts coming up in the minds of some kids. And what do? Now the teacher may have instructed, please don't interrupt until I've ended, but whatever you have to say or ask, just type it on the chat, and then I'll address that. So here the kids can throw in idea like, hey, why is the teacher putting X next to Y here? Well, why is the power raised to 3 and not 2? So they just throw in all these thoughts. It's like their voice. And then the beautiful thing is all chats get logged, so nothing gets missed. The teacher gets to see it live. If he has the opportunity, he can address it. Hey, John, I saw that you asked this question whilst I'm writing this equation. Right, this is the reason why I place X next to Y and not on the other side of the equation. Or if the teacher thinks that now is not the time, now is not the best time to address those queries because it's light, the teacher can always access those chat at a later time and then privately message or even create a forum and say that, what, John asked this question, I'm going to answer it in a forum so that Brian, Susie, and Maria can also benefit from it. So that's a wonderful way. Now, the beautiful thing with this Moodle system is you have a wonderful channel of communication that I want the kids to really take advantage of to the full. Now, for instance, like, when you join a class, you meet newbies, you don't know each other, you break the ice, you say, hi, I'm John, can I know your name? So the fellow person says like, yeah, I'm Susie. Oh, nice to meet you, Susie. So, you're in Pure Maths 1, yeah? So, yeah, I'm also in Pure Maths 1. So, where are you from? So, you're getting to know one another. So, this is also something that I really encourage the kids to do. If you notice, there's a bubble here. This bubble is none other than a messaging system. This is like your WhatsApp. This is like your Telegram, or this is like your Facebook Messenger. But you got to add context. So, in this case, if you notice, student A has been communicating with the teacher. Student A has raised some questions, and the teacher has replied. But student B wants to communicate, the teacher hasn't accept. So the teacher can click that and say accept and add to contact. Now the teacher gets to see that the student B said something, and he can say something in reply. No worries, buddy. So that's B's name, buddy, yeah, and A's name is amigo. Anyway, those are just dummy names. So now the chat has been now the communication has been established. You can also do light conversation on message. So in essence, what I'd really like to encourage the kids when they join the online lesson, establish communication at the very start, whether it's on chat, or whether it's on message, that can come with greater detail later on. But establish communication, make your presence known that, hi, I'm John. I'm going to also take this Pure Maths. Can I know the rest of you, please? Can I also know the teacher? Once you've established that line of communication, things would move smoother. Now, this one is very nice. It's a annotable file. Now, what is it? It's a way to annotate files, especially the teacher assigns a work in the form of PDF or maybe a PowerPoint, and the kids want to answer it online. That means annotate on the file itself using the Apple Pencil or some other writing device. But once again, if the students don't have a tablet, don't have a writing device, not to worry, just write it on your usual piece of paper or your writing pad, take a screenshot, and then you're uploading it. So you're not able to use this feature to the full, but it's still available to you. So what is nice is you can take personal notes. So the teacher is teaching you a concept. The teacher may have provided you some notes in the form of a PowerPoint or a PDF. You're listening to the lecture live. You can start annotating, and annotation doesn't only mean text. You can add pictures. You can add diagrams, formula, so on and so forth. So that's a wonderful way. Let me just demonstrate that for you. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to go back to student A. Let's do this. Let's go in here, and I'm going to click on this. Now, this is a worksheet that the teacher gave. So the student wants to use the annotation tool here. So he clicks on Open Annotate. And what happens now? The teacher gives a PDF file with some exercise. The student decides to write it using the writing tool here. Now, maybe the student wants to highlight, like, I think I want to add a note. So what I'll do, I'll just do this and add a, so he adds a picture, he adds a table, he adds some formula. Now he can also put some, some sticky notes here. I think, hang on. Yep, okay, he puts a number 1 here. Let's not do that now. Let's do it here. So he puts here a number 1, and then he writes like, this question is a bit hard. So he write it for his benefit. I want to get more help. So he writes this note for himself, and then he saves, and then it automatically goes into the private files folder. So at a later date, when he sees like, okay, he needs to ask the teacher this question. Why? Because he doesn't know how to do it. It's a little bit hard. He needs help. So he can do wonderful things with this annotation tool. Like I said, once he has annotated, then he saves it. It goes back to the folder that you saw earlier, which is the private file folder. If you notice here, you'll see a folder called here, Emma Note, which is basically the folder that has all this annotated file. So lots of wonderful things, but one thing I'd like the kids to also take advantage of to make learning seamless is to consider key number 5, which is, let me just do this. Okay, done. Okay, key number 5 is to take the online learning mobile. What do I mean by this? If you notice that if learning is taken mobile with the app, then lots of things can be done outside of the school environment. Learning can be smooth. Why? Kids can work on the desktop and then start to move to the mobile learning device. And the wonderful thing is the Moodle app on the mobile device have been designed to improve visibility, because the menu system is so nicely laid out. It's a matter of just clicking buttons, and it's not so much of a hard task as opposed to you going into the website and then finding or navigating where this is, where should I click, and so on and so forth. So in essence, what I'd like you, dear attendees, to take away from this simple presentation is the fact that the teachers are really going to support you with regards to benefiting from the features of this learning management system. Please don't be overwhelmed. Don't be in any way frightened, because the kids are in safe hands. So I've only shared a few things. There are many more. Hopefully in the next few talk shows, we'll share a few more features with you. Thank you once again. Back to the chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Utai, for sharing the 5 key or tips to help students learning online. I'm sure there are more. So we talk about the concept, we talk about the ideology, why, we talk about how online school can be delivered. We have talked about the teachers and the tips for the students. Kurang lengkap kalau kita tidak berbicara tentang perangkat keras yang dibutuhkan oleh siswa ya. Epson ada di sini, Indonesia, PT Epson Indonesia, Pak Andi mewakili PT Epson Indonesia khususnya di bagian printer. Mungkin bisa sedikit memberikan masukan, Pak. Kira-kira penggunaan printer ini semakin diperlukan atau semakin efeknya bagaimana gitu ke dalam dunia pendidikan pada saat seperti ini?
Oke, ya terima kasih Pak Richard waktu-waktunya. Ya di masa pandemi ini kita semua merasakan lah ya, semua pembelajaran tuh secara daring ya. Ya jadi sebenarnya kalau mungkin di perkotaan kebutuhan seperti ngeprint mungkin nggak terlalu banyak ya, karena kan siswa mempunyai wifi dengan kuota ya. Tapi diperuntuk di daerah-daerah terpencil seperti yang di daerah-daerah jauh dari kota ya, mungkin di sana mereka kendala dengan jaringan ya. Jadi untuk pelajaran daring itu agak sulit. Jadi tetap di sana dibutuhkan mencetak, karena dari sana dari guru bisa mencetak di dinas masing-masing. Nah, hasil cetakannya itu didistribusikan ke siswa-siswa yang tidak bisa mendapatkan jaringan atau mendapatkan fasilitas dari wifi ya. Dan juga belum tentu semua mereka memiliki handphone yang memadai gitu. Ya, sementara sih sampai saat ini selama pandemi ini printer juga masih banyak yang mencari, terutama juga di perkotaan, dari bapak-bapak yang biasanya ngeprint di kantor ya. Jadi sekarang mereka membeli printer untuk di rumah masing-masing gitu. Dan Epson juga bertransformasi ya dari printer yang tadinya hanya koneksi dengan USB, sekarang sudah dikeluarkan printer-printer yang koneksi dengan WiFi, dengan networking ya. Jadi dengan fasilitas itu Epson menyediakan namanya Epson Connect. Jadi untuk printer-printer yang sudah ada WiFi dan connect ke internet, nah dengan Epson Connect ini nanti si printer itu bisa memiliki alamat email. Jadi even bapak atau ibu-ibu di luar kota dengan mengirimkan email itu, printer akan mencetak dari rumah. Even kita di luar kota ya, karena isi printer itu memiliki alamat email. Jadi email dan attachment-nya akan tercetak gitu. Dan transformasinya juga nggak cuma itu, Epson menggunakan Mr Indra ya. Jadi printer yang lebih tepat lagi untuk kebutuhan mencetak dengan print volume yang lebih besar. Jadi untuk mengejar speed, jadi speednya sudah setara dengan printer laser dengan watt yang lebih kecil ya dibandingkan printer laser. Jadi bahkan sekarang juga mulai berlari dari printer laser ke printer inkjet dengan speed yang sama dengan laser gitu. Ya itu sih transformasi dari printer Epson untuk dunia percetakan khususnya pendidikan ya. Dan juga banyak juga di daerah-daerah terpencil ya yang memiliki printer tersebut, karena untuk cetak kebutuhan materi-materi siswanya yang tidak terjangkau oleh jaringan-jaringan di handphone mereka.
Ya berarti bisa dibilang Epson sudah berkontribusi ya. Jadi untuk di bidang printer khususnya bisa dipakai untuk pribadi maupun di sekolah-sekolah dengan inkjet yang lebih irit begitu ya Pak ya?
Iya Pak.
Saya pikir untuk sekolah juga dibutuhkan dengan teknologi WiFi dan cloud sistemnya mungkin print dengan gampang, nggak perlu colok USB
dan
terus ya.
Untuk bagian IT juga kita juga menyediakan fasilitas web cloud juga untuk memantau Pak. Jadi even IT-nya di rumah, dia juga bisa memantau kondisi printer, tintanya tinggal berapa, maintenance power tinggal berapa. Jadi dia tinggal mantau, oh itu udah mau habis, harus diorder gitu. Jadi bisa dipantau juga oleh tim IT yang misalnya lagi work from home ya.
Ya, sangat berguna juga untuk guru-guru yang work from home, print ke sekolah dengan gampang. Oke, thank you Pak untuk penjelasan mengenai fitur Epson, printer-printer tersebut. Saya pikir Epson sudah banyak berkontribusi di dunia pendidikan khususnya melalui perangkat-perangkat keras yang diciptakan. Mungkin untuk melanjutkan diskusi mengenai pendidikan, saya akan kembali ke Pak Indra. Pak Indra, kita sudah bahas mengenai berbagai faktor dari pendidikan, Pak Indra. perkiraan Pak Indra, apakah online school akan menjadi sesuatu yang mainstream dengan era teknologi yang baru, dengan disruptif yang terjadi, era pandemik, membuat segala sesuatunya berubah dan cepat begitu. Apakah online school akan menjadi sesuatu yang mainstream atau mungkin it will take some time?
Pastinya ini akan menjadi cara sekolah yang baru ya. This is a new way of learning gitu. Karena ya coba pikirkan, think about this. Sekarang pekerjaan apa, what kind of jobs yang tidak membutuhkan teknologi, ya kan? Mau kerja jadi driver ojol aja kita butuh gawai, kita butuh online, kita butuh kuota. So kalau ada sekolah yang masih kesulitan dengan gawai, dengan pembelajaran yang daring begini kan gitu, artinya untuk level anaknya menjadi driver ojol aja nggak siap kan begitu. Logikanya kan seperti itu. Nah, tadi kalau kita melihat pemaparan yang sudah disampaikan oleh teman-teman dari BBS Online, satu hal yang harus kita lihat, destination-nya nggak berubah. Jadi targetnya nggak berubah kan gitu. Jadi ibaratnya kalau sekarang nih dengan cara tradisional, kan, kita mau target kita itu mau ke Bandung, ya kan?
Ya.
Tapi kita naik mobil nih, lewat tol Cipali kan begitu. Nah, sekarang ibaratnya kalau pakai BBS Online, ini ke Bandung juga, tapi kita pakai bullet train, pakai kereta cepat kan. Bandungnya nggak berubah, tapi jalannya yang berubah, cara mencapainya yang berubah. Ini akan lebih faster, ya kan? Basisnya teknologi. Jadi buat yang ingin menyekolahkan putra-putrinya di BBS Online, nggak harus takut kalau wah nanti beda ya kan gitu, targetnya beda. Enggak. Sama-sama tujuannya tadi sudah ditunjukkan adalah Cambridge A-level kan gitu. Tapi cara mencapainya yang berbeda. Itu saja perbedaannya dan menyesuaikan dengan kondisi situasi sekarang yang memang serba digital kan gitu. Jadi kalau masih tradisional malah menurut saya itu yang tidak menyiapkan our kids untuk menghadapi tantangan masa depan. Kita masih menyiapkan anak untuk menghadapi tantangan masa lampau kan gitu. Itu malah yang menurut saya menjadi problem. Dan saya juga malah heran gitu, hanya sedikit sekolah seperti Bina Bangsa School yang mau melakukan step itu kan gitu. Jadi agak lucu juga nih kan gitu. Sekolah yang harusnya menjadi garda terdepan urusan perubahan, ternyata lambat sekali untuk melakukan perubahan. Jadi apresiasi yang luar biasa ke teman-teman di Bina Bangsa School yang berani untuk mengambil langkah tadi. Untuk udahlah kita ke Bandung nggak pakai mobil lagi, lama, macet lagi. Udah, kita bikin speed train, bullet train yang dari Jakarta ke Bandung cuma 30 menit. That's what you're doing basically kan gitu. Tapi Bandungnya nggak berubah. Itu sih Pak Richard pandangan saya ya.
Thank you Pak. I agree with you. Memang tujuannya tetap sama dengan A-Level Cambridge. Bina Bangsa Online School ingin agar anak-anak didiknya dapat menuju ke universitas-universitas terkemuka sehingga mereka dapat menjadi pakar-pakar di dalam bidang-bidang yang mereka inginkan. Saya akan kembali sedikit ke Epson karena Epson menyediakan kita bilangnya apa ya? Hadiah gitu ya Pak ya, Pak Andi.
Oh iya Pak.
Untuk para attendees kita pada hari ini. Mungkin Pak Andi bisa jelaskan apa yang akan diberikan dan bagaimana caranya?
Oh gitu. Oke, nah kalau hadiah infonya nanti ada printer L120 ya. Nah nanti itunya nanti ada dari Pak Edwin ya untuk yang wall of ini ya putaran undiannya. Nanti Pak Edwin yang akan membawakan itu untuk pengundiannya.
Oke, untuk mengundi para attendees atau yang hadir harus mengisi ini ya.
Ya, mengisi form feedback form ya.
Feedback form.
formnya diisi.
Lalu nanti nama mereka akan muncul.
Ya, nanti nama mereka akan di-share sama oleh Pak Edwin untuk dimasukkan ke undian ya.
Oke. Untuk para attendees, para hadirin sekalian, silakan diisi. Saya berikan waktu beberapa menit sambil kita mendengarkan bincang-bincang lagi dengan para panelis. Dan kita akan kembali ya Pak Andi ya untuk memberikan door prize. Kita udah nggak ada pintu sekarang, nggak bisa jadi door prize. Ini hadiah lah, kita bilang hadiah dari Epson. Terima kasih Epson memberikan printer kepada kita. Kita berikan mungkin 3 menit ya, kita kembali lagi dengan diskusinya. Mungkin saya kembali ke Mr. TJ sejenak. Mr. TJ, get back to you. According to Mr. Indra, that we are on right track and we are brave enough to be the few. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think we as Bina Bangsa School should do to help those students or parents who are listening to convince them and say, we are a full school, not just academic.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. I think, yes, we would like also to emphasize that beside providing very robust curriculum for the examination, we also put in place pastoral care as well as career guidance for our students. So basically, all our students will be attached and assigned to a counselor, who will actually help them during the course of their study with us in the online school. And also, we also will involve the students in some of our activities. So there will be immersion program that they can join our Bina Bangsa School students. In all the events, the sports day, if they happen to be in town with Bina Bangsa School where we are. So there are plenty of activities and events that we would like to bring them together. So it's a full curriculum. Do not worry about that. So besides helping your kids to get good examination result, we also help them to develop both in terms of character, as well as other aspects of their learning and growing with us.
Right, thank you. So Bina Bangsa School, Bina Bangsa Online School is providing a wholesome curriculum, including Cambridge A-level, and preparing the students socially and emotionally for like a normal brick and mortar school.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Last question to Mr. Paulus to wrap the discussion before we know the names of the winners. Mr. Paulus, if you are given one minute to say this to parents, why should they choose online school? I know this isn't unprepared, Mr. Paulus. 1 minute to say to the parents that online school, Bina Bangsa Online School is the choice that you have to choose.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I hope you're not timing by second so that I get more time. Okay, I think like what Pa Indra said, is a bullet train. You can get to your destination faster, better, and easier. But I felt we got to come back to I think the specifics, right? What we meant here is getting the results in the Cambridge exams. Yeah. So that means like Mr. Mohan have shown you the 4 or 5 subjects that you take. Are you able to get good results? Yeah. Now I find with the technology now, with the e-learning technologies, combining with the teachers that are going to teach and support the students' progress and their achievements, you can actually, and you can produce it like Pa Indra said, much better, much faster, right? So that means you will have more time to pursue other things, right? Other things beside the academics. Yeah? Because the academics in the end, whatever that you spend in the end is still getting the A-level certificate, right? And the universities, and colleges want to see, right, the good grades before that you get the good universities and good programs. So that one I felt, right, with the online school, you can do, like I said, much better than the physical school. And we are trying to build that. And on top of that, it's not just 100%, learning online. There is also a teacher, right? So you have the best of both worlds, I will say in this case, right? Yeah. Now, the question for me is then I wonder. That's why I think a session like this is good to get feedback from the parents, input, and at least they show us what are they thinking, or maybe what are some of the concerns. Being parents myself, I have three boys who are now in the university, and with the pandemic, they are 100% all online. I wonder with the expensive tuition fee, that are paid. They don't enjoy the campuses, they don't enjoy the facilities, they don't get to see their peers, in the canteen, and they cannot play sports together, and other pursuits, But what do? They pass the exams, they get a certificate. Now the bachelor, master's degrees, right? Certification. Now that's what we mean by it's not just talking, it's happening. Yeah, and in the future I can see more. Okay, and if you ask me right now, are there universities, online schools, and so on offering programs at a much higher level, than just high school qualification, knowledge and skill? They are, right? They are. It's just that now they've been put into the spotlight, right? So the same thing I think with the workplaces now, right? In the future, you can see companies on the job training, right? So whenever there's a missing piece of information or skills you need to develop, they don't send teachers, right? They don't send their staff, right, to learn. They go online and learn and pick up. So there's a lot of these spaces now for they provide knowledge for students to learn. Google, Wikipedia, and so on. I think there's, like I said, there's no amount of there's no lack of knowledge, and institutions trying to, right, encourage teaching and learning. It's just that now come back, right? I think we keep saying it is for the parents and the students to be convinced, that this is the way to go. And because if it is about them achieving their best, right? Like we say in our school mission, now my thing is this, then with the time you can save from the online school and because you can not only learn flexibly anytime, anywhere, but now you're free. You're free. You're not bound by the 7 to 3. I got to be in a school. 7 to 9. I got to attend my maths class in a classroom, locked in a classroom. You're free. You're free to learn anytime, anywhere. So my question is, with those time and opportunities and spaces, what will students do? I find they can do much more. They can do much more with building their portfolio, right? They can do experiments. They can engage into projects. They can do internship. They can do a lot of things, right? I think what Mr. Teja is trying to say, we have a career guidance office, and we will help, right, our online school students and our offline school students also, right? Because the vision is still the same, is to be the best that they can be. So my thing is this, right? In the portfolio, next time, it'd be interesting to see, right? Next time, let's say another Richard, 5 years, 3 years from now, if we take a student A, Bina Bangsa students, right? A-level graduates, and it says student B, our brick and mortar, right? Student B. Okay, I wonder if you compare their results and their portfolio and the universities, next time if they interview and select the students, which one have a better, higher, wider scope of accomplishment, achievements, and the one they will choose. Okay, if there's only, let's say, one space left in a program, which one they will choose, right? It'd be interesting to see.
Thank you, Mr. Paulus. That was 1 minute plus a little bit, but it was convincing enough for the parents. I hope all audiences, parents who listen can be convinced to join Bina Bangsa Online School. Kita kembali ke absen, Pak Edwin atau Pak Andi, silakan untuk lucky draw-nya.
Oke, halo Mr. Richard.
Halo Pak Edwin.
Iya, suara saya sudah terdengar jelas?
Jelas, Pak.
Oke, siap. Baik. Selamat siang semuanya yang di hari ini sudah hadir. Terima kasih sekali. Jadi hari ini memang diwakili oleh Pak Andi, kami dari PT BBS Indonesia. Tapi juga jangan lupa bahwa di setiap ada kegiatan dengan BBS Online Talk Show-nya, artinya kita akan bagi-bagi door prize. Nih, tadi berarti bukan door prize ya, Mr. Richard, tapi prize ya, karena sudah ada pintu di kita. Nah, oke, sekarang saya mohon izin untuk share screen terlebih dahulu. Oke, ya. Jadi di sini kita langsung akan mengundi, akan mendapatkan 2 unit printer Epson. Nah, jadi ini spesial juga karena kita mengapresiasi sekali bagi yang sudah mengisi feedback form. Jadi nanti 2 nama akan mendapatkan printer dan 4 namanya akan mendapatkan souvenir menarik dari Epson. Jadi semua yang mengisi feedback form hari ini mendapatkan bingkisan nih dari Epson nih, Mr. Richard ya. Oke, kalau gitu sekarang saya izin langsung mengundi saja. Untuk yang pertama mendapatkan 1 buah printernya ya. Langsung saja saya hitung dari 3. Di 3, 2, 1. Oke. Sekarang kita lihat siapakah yang akan mendapatkan 1 buah printer yang pertama. Wah, sudah terlihat nih. Jadi yang pertama, congratulations to Mr. Budi Widodo. Selamat sudah mendapatkan 1 buah printer dari Epson. Nanti kami akan menghubungi Bapak Budi Widodo untuk minta kelengkapan datanya. Sekarang kita akan lanjut ke pemenang berikutnya. Dan saya hitung lagi di 3, 2, 1. Oke, ya. Oke, selamat kepada, mohon maaf kalau salah ya, Ibu atau Bapak Mohan, selamat sudah mendapatkan 1 buah printer. Oke, terima kasih. Dan untuk yang lainnya nanti akan kami berikan souvenirnya yang sudah mengisi feedback form di hari ini. Terima kasih sekali. Semoga bermanfaat juga kegiatan talk show di hari ini dan jangan lupa untuk selalu mengikuti talk show di BBS Online berikutnya. Saya mewakili PT Epson Indonesia mengucapkan terima kasih dan saya kembali lagi kepada Mr. Richard.
Terima kasih kepada Pak Edwin, Pak Andi untuk printer yang diberikan kepada 2 pemenang pada hari ini. Thank you for the printers, PT Epson Indonesia. Very kind of you. Kita akan tutup bincang-bincang kita pada hari ini. Terima kasih untuk semua panelis sudah berkontribusi dalam berbincang-bincang, dalam memberikan pemikiran-pemikiran sehingga diskusi topik kita dapat lebih tajam dan mengkerucut pada suatu kesimpulan bahwa dunia pendidikan adalah dunia yang sangat penting dan sangat kompleks tentunya. Dan sekarang mengalami perubahan yang sangat signifikan. Dan perubahan ini cukup cepat karena didukung atau dipaksakan didukung oleh perubahan zaman dan pandemi yang berlangsung. Jadi kita melihat bahwa banyak institusi pendidikan yang belum siap dan banyak institusi pendidikan yang berusaha untuk mengejar ketinggalan sehingga dapat memberikan fasilitas pendidikan yang lebih baik kepada anak didik. Bina Bangsa Online School sudah hadir untuk memberikan solusi pendidikan yang terbaik untuk saat ini dan akan selalu berkontribusi dan berkolaborasi sehingga dapat mengejar perubahan-perubahan dan mungkin bukan hanya mengejar perubahan tetapi mendahului perubahan-perubahan sehingga dapat memperlengkapi murid-murid anak didik dan bersiap untuk beradaptasi dan menjadi yang terbaik. Saya pikir Bina Bangsa Online School sudah mempersiapkan begitu banyak perangkat, perubahan, persiapan untuk menghadapi tantangan zaman pada saat ini. Semoga kita bisa melihat bahwa Bina Bangsa School adalah salah satu yang ready untuk menjadi jawaban solusi pendidikan di Indonesia. Terima kasih untuk semua panelis. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Have a good day and God bless us all. Thank you
very much. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Pak Indra. Thank you, Pak Edwin.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice
weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pak Indra. Thank you, Pak
Thank
Edwin.
you.
Thank you, Pak Andi.
Sama-sama.